Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 9 of Direwolf20's Let's Play Satisfactory series, where I'm kinda getting my coal power plant up and running here. So you can see between episodes I ran back to my base, got a bunch more resources, hopefully that's enough to get me up and running here. And what I've done is I've just set up a conveyor lift Mark II that kind of feeds in this general direction here. And I have a conveyor splitter. The way I built this is I built the conveyor lift 2, ran it directly into the splitter here, and then threw a splitter on the line so that it could split off into this direction. So right now what I've got is all the coal that we're mining from our 2 coal nodes over there. It's just going to come down this line, it's going to come up here, it's going to come across here, and remember conveyor belts, the way they look from the bottom is the reversed direction, because they're running like in a loop, right? So if you think about how a conveyor looks in real life, like it's running in a loop, so this conveyor belt, it looks like it's going backwards, but that's because we're looking at it from the bottom. If we looked at it from the top, which I guess I can climb up there and show you, we would see that it is in fact going the right way. But what we see here is, hurrah, see? So the conveyors come over here, the coal, it's going to split here, and then I'm basically just going to, hopefully I can do this, we'll find out, but I should be able to now throw a conveyor lift here. 1, 2, 3, right? And then remember, the trick is to like get it to where you don't even see rendering of it, but if you're looking, you can kind of see it, like right here. Look right here. If you put the thing right there, you can kind of see the blue render, and click it, and it'll let you place it. Believe it or not, it almost doesn't look like it should, but it does. And I'm going to use Mark IV belts here. Because, or Mark II belts, I'm sorry. You know why I keep calling them Mark IV? It's because it's number 4 on my hotbar. That's why I keep calling them Mark IV. But, you know, whatever. 1, 2, 3. We will use the Mark I belt. It does want to behave, right, Mark I belt? Sometimes you have to get the angle just right. Now all of a sudden you're not doing the cool trick that I taught you. I might have to be down here, let's see. Yeah, why don't you want to do this all of a sudden? One, two, three. Oh, that was 1 too high, wasn't it? And then the goal is very shortly I should have, let's see. I wonder if it's because it's like snapping to something else. Let's see if I'm gonna have that problem here. Oh, that one's behaving. I haven't determined if this is a bug or not. It almost feels like it is, right? So maybe that's why I'm having a problem with it. I've yet to figure out if this is actually a bug. What are you lining up to that you keep wanting to snap? Because I feel like you're snapping to another grid line here, and that's why we're having an issue with just this one belt. See, that one came in fine. That one came in fine. They're all behaving except for this one. Killing me, Smalls. What are you connected to there? Yeah, like I said, not sure if this is a bug or not. It's probably a bug. So I wonder if I can be sneaky. So another tip that somebody recommended, let's try this, is that splitters are about the same height. That doesn't seem right to me. Yeah, it doesn't look right. The way they stack on top of each other doesn't work too well. Though I bet what I could do maybe is with... Maybe I could do this with... If I anchor you there, No, that doesn't work. Let me see if I can just somehow... There we go. I got it. I got it to place. I don't know how I got it to place, but I got it to place. So now we want the inputs to come from the back here. For all of these guys, right? And we want the belts between them to be Mark II belts. Okay. There we go. That should be cool. So now let me climb up to the top of one of these guys just to show you what I've built here, because this should work really well. Now it'll take a moment or two for the back machines, the back coal generators, to get saturated with coal. Because remember, what's going to happen essentially is that, and if we come over here, we'll see this better. The coal is going to come up. It's going to split in half, right? So like, it's coming over as 120. 60 is going to come this way, 60 is going to come this way, right? And then the 60 here, 30 is going to go into here, and then 30 is going to go along this way. And then 15, and then 15, and then 7, and then 7, and then, like, you know, etc. So what's going to happen is eventually this guy's going to fill up, because he's getting more coal per second than he needs, right? And then all the coal will head in that direction, and so, like, 1, 2, 3, 4 will eventually all become saturated, and they should all be running at full tilt at that point. And that should be cool. So up here, it looks pretty good, actually. I'm actually pleased with how well I did this. You know, in a perfect world, maybe I would have split these two rows a little bit wider so that the splitters don't get so cramped. But I mean, aside from that, it's pretty good looking, I think. So now we just need to rerun our piping, right? So let's pop down here and get this guy ready to go. So again, we're just gonna get you, get you, get you, get you. And there, right? How's this look? Doesn't this look spiffy? Right? And that should be cool. Now, somebody was concerned that I shouldn't have this whole line connected together, because this whole line isn't gonna be able to support the amount of fluid that's coming in here. The meters cubed. There you go, everybody. There you go, meters cubed. I said it correctly now. So what's gonna happen here is we'll be fine, because these tubes won't fill up so much because all the water is going into the back over here, right? So, like, water's going to come up here. Some of it's going to go that way. Oh, I should probably connect these guys. Some of it's going to go that way. Some of it's going to go that way, right? And then some of it that way, and then some of it that way. And by the time it gets to about here, this pipe junction area is going to be pretty low, right, on water amounts. So the water coming from over here is going to come in and start splitting and going to the other machines. And I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. We're going to keep an eye on it because we're about to turn this stuff on. And hopefully I'm correct, but I think we have enough power here to kind of kickstart everything. I hope that is an accurate statement. We're going to find out. How's my... We've got some biofuel, right? We're doing okay there. So let's turn this on. Right, and let's see. So now we're all of a sudden pretty close to consuming as much power as we can. Now you're going to burn through biofuel relatively decently, but we'll see what's up. Okay, now if we come down here to our coal area, what we should find is our coal harvesting mechanisms are cooking. Let's go check that out. Right? You guys are running over here? And we got coal coming in. Hello, bird. Yep, look. Coal coming in. Beautiful. And coal coming in this way. Extra beautiful. And it's running like right through a tree, isn't it? I just can't stand. There we go. I'm gonna clean the area up a little bit, you know, make it look nice. I don't want it to be ugly. Nice and tidy. And for the record, obviously you don't need to use a chainsaw for leaves here, right? But the chainsaw has like an area of effect kind of ability, so it's a nice, like, clear everything out all in one go. So now let's go over here and see what's happening, right? So these guys are Mark 1 belts. These guys are Mark 2 belts. Right? And they're cruising right along. And what we should see shortly is the capacity line, I guess, is what will go up. As soon as this coal makes its way over to the coal power plants, we should see that capacity line kicking into gear. And that would be cool. And now, once this coal feeds into the coal power plants, we have fully automated power production. Okay? Fully automated power production, which is huge. It means that, you know, we don't have to cut down trees no more. Right? Look at all this stuff that I'm going to avoid. Right? Goodbye. Goodbye, wood. Goodbye, leaves. I don't need you no more. It's just not something I need. So here it comes. The coal's going to come up here. Cool. Right? And it's going to start making its way down there. Right? So it's splitting here, obviously. And these two generators should kick on. Look, that one just turned on, and this one's going to turn on a second later. Boom. And now we're producing power. Sweet. 15 per minute. I like it. And that's 120 coal total, right? 8 times 15, 120. So now, all of our coal power plants are kicking on, and if you see my power graph, it's going to be jittery for a bit, remember? Because, like, a bunch of coal's going in here, well more than we need. And, you know, less is going in here, right? So it's getting, like, this one's about breaking even, right? And this one's going to be jittery, right? It's like getting a little bit, getting less, getting a little bit, getting less. Remember, coal power plants will always burn their fuel at max speed, regardless of how much consumption we have on the network, right? Like, that's an important thing to note. Biofuel would self-throttle. So, like, it would slow down its burning of biofuel because we didn't need as much power. That is not true for coal. If we're powering nothing, it will still burn all the coal all the time. That's a change between Update 3 and Update 4 of Satisfactory. So shortly what we should see is this coal power plant will back stuff on coal. And I think that's happened now, right? No, it hasn't. I don't know what number it'll back stuff, but eventually it will. You know, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But in theory, we should eventually see all these guys back stuff. It'll probably take a little bit, but they'll get there. So let's come back in a few minutes and see what happens. So I'm going to assume here that the magic number is 100. Once we hit 100 coal in here is when we'll back stuff, right? I'm going to go ahead and make that happen now by just adding some of the coal I have in my inventory. So what's going to happen is, now this thing's going to stay at 100, right? Which means that we've got 60 coming in here, right? It was originally doing 30 and then 30 going that way. Because this is only using 15, now it's 15 going this way and 45 going that way. So we're going to start seeing more and more coal come this way because that line there is going to back stuff, right? And what we should now see is this guy starting to get a net gain of coal. Because he only needs 15 a minute. He's now getting 45 divided by 2, so he's getting 22 and a half a minute, right? Once this guy fills up and backstuffs, right, it'll be sending 15 there, and then 30 will be coming this way. And then it'll be 15 and 15. And one of my wager is that neither one of these will ever back stuff because they're actually getting an even distribution of exactly what they need. So right now, this one's doing okay, And this one's probably, not quite doing okay yet. He's going to run out of coal at some point. But so there'll be moments where he doesn't have any coal, probably, maybe. I don't know. I think. Yeah, like that. Like that moment, right, occurred. But once this one here backs up, will be good. So, long story short, we've now got coal power nice and stable. And after all the backstuffing occurs, these lines should stabilize. And what we should find is that our capacity line will be like pretty much straight all the way across. And that'll be cool. So I think at this point, we're pretty self-sufficient on coal power, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, I landed in water. Tried to be cool and slide under the thing, but it didn't work. So I'm going to remove this power line, right? Because right now, our consumption's only at like 78, right? So our production's chilling around. I don't know what the difference between production and capacity is, but I'm going to remove you. Is capacity how much it's capable of producing? So this guy's now... Production is 0, and capacity is 90. Oh, I see. Okay, so capacity is how much it's capable of producing. Production is how much it is producing, right? Because biofuel will self-throttle, right? But coal won't. So those two numbers should be identical now, right? See 450 and 520. Like, see how the numbers are now identical? If you look at the black and gray graph here, they became exactly the same on this power network now that I broke this connection, where they're drastically different on this power network, right? Because this connection now, these are two separate power networks. So capacity is how much power we're capable of producing, where production is how much we are actually producing. Got it. Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is new in update 4. They changed the way electricity worked, as I've mentioned. So that's good to know. And now we are producing well more than enough power over here to keep everything happy. So we are 100% coal power at this point. We're no longer wasting our biofuel. I'm going to leave these guys here just in case we run into a position in the future where, not great things happen. What I'm going to do, though, now is probably going to want to have a connection here. And then I want to run this back to my main base. Now, those of you who are Minecraft viewers of mine know chunk loading is a thing in Minecraft. Chunk loading is not something we need to worry about in Satisfactory, so we don't have to worry about anything along those lines. We just know that this power plant is going to always run and always take care of us, and that's a beautiful thing. It really is. So let's bring these power lines back to our base, right? Wire is too long, right about there, looks good. Cool. And then basically I just want to run this whole power line back to my base. That's what I'm going to do right now. Luckily you can get some really good distance between your power poles. And we should have enough cable to make it all the way back there. But, if we don't, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I think we'll be fine. So our goal now is to run off in this direction. And I'm not too particular about making sure my power lines don't cross trees or anything like that. I'm, whatever. Whee! Sliding is fun. Alright, wire is too long. Looking pretty good, right? And we can kind of see we're heading towards our other concrete production line here. I just grab food whenever I see it because, I mean, it's not super important, but when you see it, you want it. Alright, so now what's going to happen is we're going to come over here. Wire is too long, nothing. right? So if we check this grid, we see we're producing plenty, right? We're consuming a bit, so our consumption is our water production and the coal production at the moment, right? But, you know, as normal, as we expect, our production and our capacity are about the same. And again, that'll flatten out once we backstuff all our power line stuff. Now, if we come over here, we will see this guy's dead in the water. He's got nothing doing, right? His max consumption is somewhere around 250, right? But his consumption, his capacity, his production are all off. So let's connect these two power grids and give it a good old breaker switch. One of my grids is shut down? What? How could that possibly happen? You're supposed to all be connected and happy now. Aren't you all connected? Yeah, your production is, you know, 600-ish, right? That's what we'll see once we back stuff, by the way. Because what happened here is the conveyor belts keep moving when we lose power. So with everything shut down, yeah, that makes sense. Now, what's your problem, buddy? Is 600 not enough for what power needs we have? No, consumption's 328. Should be plenty. What? There we go. Just need a little kick. A little extra flip of the lever. Now everybody's connected and happy. Cool. Alright, so our production's 600. Capacity is 640. Probably because we have a couple biofuels that we're talking to. Let me go disconnect my biofuels at the moment, actually. I'm suspecting that's why we're seeing that. Right, but everything should be back up and running again, which is cool. Which is cool. So this is my biofuel network, right? Let's disconnect you. And now my whole biofuel network should be offline. Capacity 40. I guess somebody has enough fuel. Yeah, these two have fuel in them. That's why it's saying capacity 40, right? And then this network has the capacity and production at 600 megawatts, because 75 times 8 is 600, right? 75 megawatts per coal power, 8 coal power plants, 600 megawatts of power. Make sense? Sweet. All right. So we've got lots of juice now. That seems like a lot, but it's really not. You can see we're already using like half of it, right? We're already using half of it. So that's a thing we're going to want to keep in mind. But hey, look, we are now 100% automated coal power. I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited about that, yes. Except for the fact that our power just cut off. What happened? Why did you drop to 0 production? Explain that to me. Explain that to me. How did we hit 0 production? That makes no sense. Are we having a problem with water? Maybe we're having a problem with water? That wouldn't make sense, would it? We're going to have to go out there and figure this out, though. So, okay. Back to the coal power plants, because I have no idea why you would suddenly 0 power output. That makes no sense to me. So we're going to have to go out there and find out what just happened. Because I just don't know. Oh, alright, so now it's cooking again. So I got to get out there and see what's up. Because something's up. Something's clearly up. Weird. Weird. Be right back. Alright, we're here. I just turned the power back on so I can observe what's happening. I'm wondering if we're, like, choking on coal a little bit. Like, the coal power plants shutting off might be a problem. And if they are, then that's a problem, right? Man, I wish I had access to batteries, but I don't think I do yet. Pretty sure I don't. So what's happening? Is this what's happening? Is it because this line is choking? Because I would think that we have enough power to, or enough coal to hold us over, but maybe we don't, and that's the problem. That's gotta be it, right? It doesn't look like a water issue. Though we have a lot of a lot of coal. I might need to wait for all these things to back stuff before it actually begins to make sense. Right? Because my concern is what's going to happen is we might be losing power in this moment, right? While this line is blank, because we ran out of power, right? We're gonna choke on coal before it gets back up here and gets to like the back belt stuff. So what I might do is clip that line there until we have more backstuffing of coal. That might be the solution here that we need. Because yeah, what's probably going to happen is these 4 power plants are going to cut off, and that'll drop us to 300 power, and then we'll be in trouble, right? Because we're still waiting for this stuff to catch up here. It's taking its sweet time. I need tier 3 belts. That's what I need. I really need tier 3 belts, and that will make life a lot happier for me. Yeah, like these front 4 are not the problem. It's the back 4 that are getting low. And then when these dropped to below, when these back 4 run out of power, we're hitting 300, which is not enough to keep everything running. See? It's dropping off, and we're about to lose power now because the coal didn't get back up here fast enough. That's what happened. So we basically need to make sure we have enough backstuffed coal for a little bit, and then we'll be okay. So in a minute here, we're going to clip. Oh wow, we are like right on the edge. We're like 100% right on the edge of losing power here. That's funny. So what I'm going to do is split a little bit of coal here. And here to help with the backstuffing and like give them a little bit of a buffer. And let's come back in a minute and make sure we don't lose power before I head back to my base. I'm going to let this run for a little bit. All right, if I'm not mistaken, we're pretty close, if not already, to the point where we're going to be nice and stable at 600. A little dip just happened. Somebody ran out of fuel. Just one of them did. But the front 4 have the 4, are all backstuffed at this point, right? So that means the back 4 are getting 30 and 30 or 15 and 15 each. So we're pretty stable at this 600 point. You can kind of see like the line stopped being jittery. And this is exactly what we predicted would happen with the way the conveyor belts are set up. So I'm actually feeling pretty good about this, right? Because remember, it's 60 coming in, it's 15, 45 coming this way, 15, 30 coming this way, and then this 30 splits into 15 and 15. So these 2 back ones will never back stuff, right? They'll always evenly split their 30 among each other, and that's okay. Like, we'll just see that that's, yeah, nice and stable 600 now. Exactly as we predicted would happen. That's cool. I love when you make a prediction and then it turns out to be true. Like, that's exactly what we thought would happen. It's exactly what happened. How great is that? So now we should really be okay to head back to our base and not worry about this no more. So, that said, we are getting pretty close to the end of the episode here anyway. So what I think I'm going to do is wrap up the episode here. We're now fully dependent on coal power, though to be honest with you, it ain't that much. We're going to need probably more. But there's another coal node that we didn't tap into back there, and we're going to have to kind of figure out how that's going to all work out. I think Mark II miners are available to us soon-ish. So that means we'll be able to double the coal income, which means we'll be able to double our power plants, right? We'll need to double the water pumps as well, but like there's a reason I have this giant platform and only a handful of power plants on it. That will eventually become, there'll be 8 there, I'll eventually have 8 here, and then I'll probably have a second story with another 8 and 8 eventually. But we'll see, right? But for now, it's good enough, right? Like the basis of the system is there. Which is cool. So, automated power up and running. We're going to come back next episode. I think our next major goal should be steel. Steel is going to unlock a lot of cool stuff for us. But all the automation that we set up in the past is now back up and running. So that means we should be having lots of automated reinforced plates and rotors and all kinds of other stuff, which is great. And then we'll get cooking with steel. Steel is a combination of iron and coal. So what I'm going to probably do is if I ping for coal, we know there's some behind me where our coal power plants are, right? There's another coal node off in that direction. We'll see it show up in the ping shortly. There we go. Boom. Right over there. Right? That's the one behind me back there, but there's also a coal over here, but there's one a little bit closer over here. So I'll probably investigate getting steel production over there if there's iron in that general area. So I think what we'll do is next episode, we'll come back, we'll go explore off in that general direction, and we'll see what kind of coal exists over there. And if there's iron nearby as well, I would like to get steel up and running and figure out, what to do about that. Because steel is going to be our next major production line. That's really the most important thing that we have going on next. And if we come over here to our milestones, we'll know that we have to unlock steel just shortly. And that'll, by the way, give us access. So if we check out tier 3, basic steel production is the first thing we need to do, right? That gives us the foundry, which allows us to smelt into steel ingots. We'll also unlock the crafting mechanic of steel pipes and beams, which very much like iron pipes and plates, they're just steel and they just go into a crafter. And versatile frameworks is one of the things that we have to ship up to the space elevator to unlock parts, these guys, right? And then once we have access to steel, advanced steel production is a thing. That'll give us access to the Miner Mark II, which doubles our resources. And it also gives us access to Logistics Mark III, which gives us tier 3 belts, which is cool. Oh, and power storage. There's power storage. Sweet. I really want power storage. I have no idea how it works. All I know is it's like a battery, basically. And I would very much like that because power storage is new in Update 4. I have no idea how it works. I would like to, so we'll figure that out. And also we get access to hypertubes soon, which are fun. Improved melee combat can't go wrong with, right? And vehicular transport. We're going to have a fun vehicular transport. That's going to be neat right there. That's going to happen. It's going to be cool. We'll probably do that with our steel production. But for now, wrapping up point. So Darwell20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We will come back next time and explore this lovely planet of ours. Gonna go find another coal node and an iron node so we can make steel and do all the things I just talked about. All right, guys, take it easy.